Will they give DT a crack to take advantage of? You see the first ones coming out here are going to be Kinetic Armor and Flashbang, both being banned.
Well, look, OpTic Gaming, they're going to get rid of the tacticals. They're going to get rid of, a high caliber or a rapid fire. That's what they do every time.
Stuff, right?
Yeah, they might get rid of the HCXD as well. Ooh. It's going to be a stock ban from Killa. So they target Scump with the Kinetic Armor. They target Formal a little bit with that stock ban.
Yeah, they certainly do. Yeah, the Kinetic directly going at Scump. I think him and Attach really the two best players with that really in the game right now. Stock. Now, do you think that really, on a map like this, with the AR, do you think that really affects OpTic Gaming at all, specifically, Formal is going to be your key player with the AR?
Honestly, I don't think too much. I think for the most part, where you're going to be playing with the Assault Rifle are very stationary positions.
It's kind of my thoughts as well, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be kind of setting up behind cover, just looking over your teammates. For the most part, you're not going to be moving around too much. But it also affects the SMGs a little bit. The players are starting to use stock more and more on things like the VMP to give them a bit more mobility.
Well, you see rapid fire coming off. We still have
high caliber to follow.
We have Shiva. We have high caliber. I'm trying to think of what might be targeted as well here as we go to our 8th and final. And it looks like, yeah, the Shiva. That makes sense. Those are the two kind of
really
standard ones.
As it gets.
Yes, really was. And I think the more standard it is, the more it kind of favors OpTic Gaming, like we were talking about in the last series.
So something that makes it through here is the Purifier. Expect maybe somebody like Crim6 to pick it up for his team. Crim loves to use the Purifier. And on a map like Stronghold, when we're talking about like that bunker hardpoint, just the zoning capabilities, man, it's just so strong not to pick. You see Sender picking it up for DT and Crim for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, we didn't really see any obvious use of the Purifier in Game 1 as that was banned out. Now we'll kind of see what we've been talking about. Its ability to hold off those doorways or pick up those big 3 pieces. You've seen sometimes 6 streaks from, I've seen big plays from Methods, Chino, guys that absolutely go off with it, but the Purifier now going to be used by Cinder. He's going to try to be the difference maker here for DT. Now, I think kind of the recipe for success that you saw for DT going up against OpTic Gaming early in Stage 1 was the fact that they stole the hardpoint.
Yeah.
That is OpTic Gaming's only hardpoint loss, to my knowledge, through all of Stage 1. I could have just made that up, but I'm pretty sure that's the only hardpoint loss. They're the best hardpoint team in the game.
Also, I think this is the first time that, since you've been casting over OpTic Gaming, that you didn't show Formal as a player card.
That's not true. I give them all love, man. I do love Formal, though. But, we like to hear your guys' feedback on Twitter. The question we've got for you going into this second series, simple. Can DT do it again?
Okay.
Can they get the upset? Can they go 2-0 against OpTic? Because this is sort of, I know it's very, very different from the European scene, but it's kind of like Vitality going 2-0 against Millennium. You have Millennium at the top.
Yeah.
A bubble team in Vitality. For some reason, they had Millennium's number. They beat them 2-0. Can DT do it? That'd be kind of crazy, right?
I think OpTic Gaming really want their revenge, because if you think back to that moment where DT caused the upset, that was OpTic's first loss of the CWL. And that was actually the week where we saw both undefeated teams, lose their first match of this entire league. So I think OpTic Gaming really want to get their revenge, and I don't think they're going to underestimate this DT team. That's
the question for me. Is their revenge going to outplay the hunger that's going to come from DT? Because I think the hunger element was a big thing in Game 1. CLG wanted it more, man. They wanted that series. They needed it more, even more than wanting it. It's just that need. And I think DT potentially just going to come out firing in this one. But this is it for me. This Game 1 is everything, because I just don't know how DT beats them if they lose the hardpoint.
Look, I could guarantee you if this one manages to go to Game 5, DT will not win.
What were they? I know at one point they were like 0-6 in Game 5s.
I think they're 1-6 or something like that.
But
the crazy thing is, if they win their Game 5s, man, they're not forced to win a match like this.
I know.
And they have some maps and matches to play with.
Very, very true. Well, we are just waiting for time here to hop into Game 1 between OpTic Gaming up against DT. Now, we know with live event viewer, we've got a lot of new viewers at home. You guys might be tuning into Call of Duty Esports for the first time. So, Revan, do the honors. If you can kind of just break down Hardpoint, the importance of it, kind of the basics of the game mode for those new fans at home.
All right, so the first thing you want to learn when you're playing Hardpoint is, one, the rotation of the hardpoints. You saw that in the graphic earlier, but also you want to learn about rotations. When it's time to rotate over to the next hardpoint and give up on scrap time, because I know when I'm playing Arena, nobody likes that player that, pushes in when there's like 10 seconds remaining on the hardpoint and winds up feeding streaks to the opponent. So learn about rotations, learn about when to give up time to invest into getting more time.
All right, well, one thing you did see make it through to this one is going to be the smoke grenades.
Yeah.
You know, Killa and crew are going to like to use those, try to get in the head of OpTic Gaming, try to make an impact, close off those powerful lines of sight that this team is so good at when it comes to positioning. We'll see if they're able to make a difference with that. Cinder gets one, not able to pick up a second there at half wall. Back and forth here early on. You don't usually see a ton of time picked up in the first Hardpoint in the first side of rotations. You know, sometimes you'll see teams really able to lock it down the second time, maybe if it gets to a third set of rotations.
On this map specifically, you have 2 good contest spots on either side.
Yeah.
So you will see teams just kind of contest, and that's why you don't see, you know, a lot of time racked up. But OpTic Gaming going into this next one with around a 20-point lead, that's really good. You also got Crim6 here with early position. He's going to get challenged early on as he's taking some shots. Well, his teammates not really in the best of position to help him out, but absolutely destroys Shino right there.
That is the reason that you'll see something at times used like a Man of War, an ICR, HVK, some of these automatic rifles. Yeah, those hip fire plays are not that easy with the XR2 and the M8. You see Krim making it look easy there at Lambo. HC out for Scump, connects with the face there of Diabolic. They've got a 20-point advantage right now, trying to hold on to this lead as everyone trying to lock down Palace with 3 in a row.
Cinder turning it up for his team, 6-3 on a 3-speed right now. If he's able to earn some streaks right here, this will really help out Dream Team as we enter, you know, some of the upcoming hardpoints, you know, over near the half wall as well, the rocks. Not a lot of cover you could use to, you know, hide from that lightning strike or that Hellstorm missile. As DT, they're doing a great job. They've actually just taken the lead in the game.
All right, well, here we go, taking a look at Killa, the newcomer to DT. Wisely gonna let a couple pass here. That's a difficult range for the VMP. I don't know if that player spotted him here. He's just trying to hold these back spawns. Karma, you've got, I've highlighted on the other screen, is trying to push down this right side, and Karma is gonna be the guy that picks up too. So all that patience from Killa just eliminated by the X Factor Karma.
I mean, that's exactly what Killa wanted to do, is just stay alive, fight for spawns for his team. Anytime you're trying to break a hardpoint setup from the other team, you play for spawns first, you play for kills second. So good heads-up play from Killa, and to be fair, Killa has been struggling recently in the respawn game modes. He's kind of been leaning more towards that objective style of play, you know, going for kills second, playing for the objective first, and you see it reflected in all of his stats.
Yeah, and sometimes we'll see him able to put up monster numbers as he's going to pick up a 2-piece there. You know, I think about his career kind of in AW and Ghost. I feel like there was just, there were splits kind of throughout the year where he was go on more of a Slayer role versus objective, and he has the ability to do both, but in this game so far, really trying to be the difference maker in S&D and also make an impact in the objective.
Speaking of,
he's got a 3 streak right now.
Yeah, speaking of impact, the reason why I think Killa, you know, had so much success on that team is because he had a support player that played to his pace and miracles. Now, how many times did you see them working hand in hand together?
True.
You know, breaking hardpoints, pushing in together, just playing at the same speed. There's really nobody on DT that plays at the same pace that Killa does, and I think that's certainly something that's maybe contributing a little bit to his struggles.
Yeah, no, and that's honestly, that's something that I kind of saw with Havoc filling in for Envy as well. That added aggressive SMG to go with TP versus having, you know, kind of 3 slower ARs at times. You know, Slasher not the most aggressive player. You saw that team completely change, and we'll see if we notice that dynamic as well tonight. Looking up, oh God, not gonna shoot the Hellstorm. It's gonna catch him in his right eye.
Yeah, Karma also has the lightning strike. That play kind of reminded me of the Big T Hellstorm back in the day on Hijack. Just like, well, there's nothing I could do. I might as well just look death right in the face.
Stares it down the barrel. Now, this one's still very, very close. OpTic's only been able to pull away by 20 or so points. Haven't been able to really extend the lead past that. We're going to be rotating now over to bunker. Setup first is going to be DT. Can they hold, though, is the question. Karma's got one behind him. He should be taken out, but now all the pressure going to come from Lot. They've got this top
smoke
spot.
grenades here.
And look how scared they are to go in. They're going to let
you don't know what's on the other side.
Very, very true. Now it comes, and that's just flames to the face. Cinder connecting on one. Diabolic picking up another, and he is toasting everyone trying to push. He transitions back wisely to watch back alley, and I think I see a scythe out for Formal.
Yeah, I like how Cinder's using this Purifier. He's waiting till he knows he's going to have guaranteed kills. Normally, you'll see players just liberally just use all their flames as he's fully streaked out. Big plays coming in from Cinder as it's going to give DT around a 25-point lead, but OpTic Gaming still setting up to break. The HCXD will get called in, and, well, he actually kills himself with it. So not the best usage there, as Diabolic's not trying to contest for the rest of this time.
That little bit of a delay in calling it out cost him. The player is able to get too close. He's going to kill himself, but they got the time that mattered, right? I mean, by the time the break comes in, there's only 10 to 15 seconds now. It's not going to have much of an impact on the game. And if you heard us talking about, you know, what the Purifier can do in this game, you saw Banned Out in the last series. You saw it there. Cinder, just beautiful work there.
And like I was saying, you know, let's say Krim was in that exact same situation. He might just not let go of the trigger. and just let the Flames zone out those players and really force them to be unable to push through that doorway. Sender waited until OpTic Gaming was pushing into break before he, used the Flames on his Purifier, and he was able to get fully streaked out because of it. And, you see the Lightning Strike coming in, it's able to clear OpTic Gaming outside the hardpoint. As DT, they're going to be able to continue to build themselves a bit of a lead. And just like when these last teams matched up, DT put up a great fight in the hardpoint. But one thing you need to do against OpTic Gaming is maintain this pressure, maintain, this top form of play. You can't give them any mistakes. You can't give OpTic Gaming any room to work with.
You can't. And OpTic Gaming, a team that is known to start slow in hard points and then just derail their opposition. We've seen them down by 50 to 80 points at times, and all of a sudden they end up winning by 100. Yeah, exactly. They can really get on a rally once they start to get heated up. But so far, DT doing an all right job just trying to hold on to this narrow margin. We are going to be inside of Palace now. Everyone trying to vie for control. You see Camo for Scump as Kinetic was banned, and that's going to be a Semtex coming in from Sender, able to clean him out of a pretty strong position.
The crazy thing is, even though DT, they're out slaying their opponents right now, it's only a 4-point, 5-point lead for them. I mean, OpTic Gaming, they are still in this game, and it's weird because, you got Sender who gets fully streaked out, unable to use those to snowball a huge lead for DT. OpTic Gaming, they're going to be able to retake the lead right here.
Yeah, all streaks gone. Well, actually, what is Sender? Let me check. Here,
he has a Hellstorm missile left.
Okay, he has a Hellstorm left, but he just used the Lightning. So he is going to have one left that he might be able to make an impact on. Maybe, top middle when we get into the next side. If it gets that far, we'll be able to see if one of these teams explodes. How many times have we seen it really come down to the wire on this particular map? Scump grabbing one. You see Karma coming in as well. They've got a 10-point advantage. OpTic now has the lead. Let's see if they can add to this. And, once you wake up the Lions, sometimes they just, they'll completely take control over the final couple minutes.
Staying alive, and he's going to choose to use the Hellstorm right here. He's going to spot 2 players along the outskirts. That should be 2 kills. He actually only gets 1. So he's going to push forward, spots 1 player. All 4 go down for OpTic Gaming. This is going to give DT a chance to come back into the game. Now they need to defend themselves in the hardpoint, right? They need to pick up the kills in rotation from OpTic Gaming, and that will give a huge swing of momentum in DT's favor.
Great job from Chino. You saw kind of a split spawn. 2 were lot. 2 came in there at bunker, and Chino set up brilliantly to deal with that. Easy gunfights for him, but Karma's got the pressure in. He's able to take 1. Still contested, turns and grabs another. Karma going huge. Can he get a third? Karma, he's 25 off his Hellstorm, and he may need the break. OpTic Gaming needs to close this one out. Incredible plays from him in and around the hard point.
He's playing right here. You see him just swiveling back and forth, as now it's all 4 down for DT. Karma's the one fully streaked out. He's working towards another heat wave, but going back to that one play, I mean, he kind of had his head on his swivel, right? He turned to his left, he's looking where Scumpy is, picks up a kill there, immediately turns right, just snaps onto the DT players that are pushing in. It's now OpTic Gaming, they're the ones building the lead as they're up by 30 points.
And this is not Black Ops 2 Hardpoint. You saw what a 4 down for OpTic Gaming turned into a 4 down for Dream Team in what seemed like 10 seconds, basically, as they got the break, and Karma went absolutely huge. They're up 30 now. Karma still putting in work.
30 and 21.
Yep, the first one to hit the 30-point margin, still on a 3 streak.
He's also got great time inside the hardpoint, nearly a minute.
Wow. Incredible game for me. He's leading the entire team. He's really doing it all right now. No, sorry, Formal is leading the entire team. But still, in a minute, this is a pretty balanced effort from OpTic. At times they're kind of objective by committee. You see everyone doing an excellent job right now. 40-point advantage here for OpTic. Crim6 picking up 2 in the hardpoint now.
Just rotate.
And here, this is a big battle. This is huge because last time it was all Cinder. Now let me check. Does Cinder have it? Yes, he is going to have the flamethrower too.
He's using this early. Not he gets shut down.
Nearly as strong this time. And now you've got Formal set up in a power position with the Scythe. He's going to be ready to do a lot of damage.
Boy. Yeah, you also got Crim. He's ready to use his Purifier as soon as the Scythe expires from Formal. And good information. Formal's able to spot that player, but no trophy systems from OpTic Gaming. EMPs now to use in. And I think that's exactly how you need to break. You need to flood in with the EMPs. Make sure that they can't use like a camo. They can't use a heat wave. But as we're talking about it, DT, they're just doing it with raw gun skill. Smoke grenades to follow in. The Lightning Strike gets called in from Karma. Takes down Sender, but the contest from Chino, smart positioning from him, just using that railing as he's somehow staying alive. He's going to take out his Scythe right here as he's blocked. Not just the HCXD. Doesn't do anything with the Scythe. Crim just trying to spot with the HCXD. OpTic Gaming 20 points away from closing out map number 1.
I don't know about calling out the smoke there in the midst of, or calling out the Scythe in the midst of the smoke and all that gunfire coming in. He doesn't even get to fire a bullet.
HC's out.
At 10 points away, there's 14 on the hard point. They can close it out here. They have to deal with this one push, and this should be game. OpTic Gaming should be closing out. Crim6 with the dirty shots. They're able to pick him off the ledge. 80-point victory. So that's kind of what you talk about with OpTic, man. They start slow, and then they end up somehow getting like those 80 and 100-point victories, despite the fact that it's back and forth, really the entire game till the final couple of hard
Once
points.
they're able to start chaining kills together, you saw it there kind of when they initially got that first 4 down. On the second jump wall hardpoint, that's when things started to turn around. Karma gets fully streaked out. He uses his streaks pretty well, just fending off the players pushing it through bunker, immediately used his Hellstorm to win the rotation over towards the Rocks hardpoint. They're able to break in to the bunker hardpoint, even though there was a Scythe used, a Purifier as well from Cinder.
Well,
you know, it's easy stuff from OpTic Gaming.
That if Cinder, I guess, played that as perfectly as he did, because I don't think, I mean, he didn't get heat waved. It wasn't a camo player. I think he just was in kind of a rough spot, didn't connect on the shots, and they were able to team fire.
What
So
is
3
you
players
have a player
pushing.
slide in, he snaps with the Purifier, no longer zoning out that doorway. OpTic Gaming just trade that kill perfectly.
Well, last time he kind of had it pre-fired, it was he, got one. They came at him kind of one by one, able to rack up 1, 2, 3, 4, get fully streaked out. There, they just bully him, take him out, and as soon as he dropped, everything kind of, hell broke loose basically for DT. But let's take a look at the scoreboard now for Game 1 between OpTic Gaming and Dream Team. We talked about Karma. He gets a minute plus in the hill. He goes plus 11 with 8 defense. Incredible performance from him. And Cinder, that was hot early. He was the one kind of leading the way from DT. He slowed up a little bit. Chino tried to fire back, but look at the difference kind of in the big Slayer for DT, their hill time compared to Karma. He gets the slaying done while also doing the dirty work around the hard point.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with you there, but great stuff overall from that DT squad. Is now we're going to take a look at some of the highlights. And the crazy thing is, at one point in this game, DT had a pretty good lead. They're up by around like 30 points. They had streaks to use. They had their specialists, but you let OpTic Gaming hang around, and they're going to do this to you. You see Killa going big early on first team, using camo pretty well right here as he's going to pop it and pick up a kill, and just defending himself inside the hardpoint. Good use of smoke grenades. I mean, they won that first bunker hardpoint, but when it came down to solidifying their position, they used their specialist weapons and just weren't able to clear out that OpTic Gaming push and slow them down. And eventually, you let OpTic Gaming hang around, and they're going to win the map.
All right, well, OpTic putting the first one in the books. And again, this is kind of the key to victory for me in the first time they played was the fact that DT stole the hard point. So now
things a little bit different this time around?
Absolutely. So you're looking at, in my opinion, you're not going to take both of the respawns. So if you're going to win this now, in my opinion, it's coming down to Game 5, which is what's scary about that is that has been the hardest thing in the world for Dream Team. And I don't see them, maybe the CTF they can take, they would have to. I just don't see them beating them in Uplink, really.
Well, I think the CTF they won against OpTic last time was Stronghold. This time around, it's going to be Breach. So those maps play completely differently when you're comparing them in CTF. And now DT, they need to find a way to force that CTF. I mean, how are they going to get it? Is it going to be off the back of like an Uplink win? Well, it's going to be Uplink evac. And sorry, DT, but I've seen OpTic Gaming just completely blow out their opponents on that specific map and game mode. And I think they got to find a way to take this Infection, Search, and Destroy, which is one of OpTic's better S&D maps. I mean, I've made a couple of videos about them on this map. I'm pretty familiar with some of the strategies they're going to bring out. And DT, they're going to need trophy systems if they want a chance in this S&D.
And that's what gets scary, because I know, I've talked with Chino a little bit. He loves Uplink, favorite game mode. This team is a solid Uplink team, and they just love this particular respawn. But OpTic's very good when it comes to Uplink.
Is this true?
Yeah, it's they have to win both the S&Ds. They have to. That's the only way I think they're going to take this series potentially is if DT takes both of them. And like you said, Infection, a strong map for OpTic Gaming. So let's talk a little bit, now while we wait for the players to load up. When you talk S&D, Infection, what can DT do? You mentioned trophies, but what else, in the ban protect or just an overall strategy do to disrupt what OpTic Gaming likes to do?
So OpTic Gaming, what they like to do on the defensive side of things is, they'll start with a double nade toss on that B street just to slow that push down. So you could ban out frag grenades. You could ban out danger close just to limit the effect of that. They like to also have a heavy middle presence. So, I mean, both these guys, they have access to the VODs. They have access to the theater. So they could really go in depth and see exactly where these guys like to play and develop a strategy from there. Hopefully DT have done that. I mean, I would hope they put in the time because now these are must-win matches for them as they're trying to make it out of the relegation zone. But they need to develop a strategy to take middle presence away from OpTic Gaming. You saw how Complexity decided to approach it, where they had Parasite just kind of slide through and through and, force that player back from the A-bomb site. DT need to do something similar from that. But what OpTic Gaming are really best at in Search and Destroy is just trusting their teammates and having cover fire. trusting them to, look over each other's backs and, they have trust in one another to make the kill.
Awesome. Great to hear. Great analysis as always, Rev, as you're breaking down what you expect here from Game 2. Now, I think we have someone coming in on Twitter, what they expect from this series. Do they think DT can do it? I am quad trains. The bald eagle will soar. He hasn't yet, but if he's going to, S&D needs to be where Killa makes a difference here. Yeah. He needs to really kind of put his imprint on this. You heard, even when he filled in for OpTic Gaming, at times he was the shot caller. He was playing that leader role.
Playmaker too.
He was filling in for Krim. Yeah, he playmaker, in-game leader. He was doing everything in that Game 5 S&D. They need it here, specifically in Game 2 and 5 in Search and Destroy. But let's swing things into the ban protect here. OpTic Gaming, DT.
There we go.
Game 2, and I love the concussion protect coming in from Chino.
Just being able to slow the game down. And now I think a great follow-up from DT is you ban perk 3 greed. Then what do? Do you just run straight tac mask, straight blast suppressor, straight dead silence?
See, I love that because make them make a decision. Make them make a decision by banning perk 3 greed, because I don't think it makes sense to go after and just ban tac mask or just ban blast suppressor. Make them decide between those 3 with only having a choice.
Do it, Sender. I know you're talking about it.
Come on. Come on, guys.
High caliber and overclock. Still a chance.
And they've got, so what do we still have? We have to take a look at
Rapid
fire will be coming off.
All the lethal grenades, all the specialist abilities.
Potentially kinetic or camo might come out as well. There's Rapid.
From Krim.
Yeah, not surprised.
So OpTic Gaming, they ban out both the attachments. And I think whenever you go up against a team and they take it upon themselves to get rid of high caliber as well as rapid fire, you have such a huge opportunity to swing the ban and protects in your favor.
Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna play their game. OpTic doesn't feel like they need to do anything special. They don't need to attack teams. They just want to play their game.
Killa missed his ban.
Okay, well that is the opposite of the bald eagle soaring. That does not help make an impact whatsoever. Do you think that's someone just being AFK, not ready to make the choice?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they were just talking about exactly what they want to do.
Came down to the wire, not ready.
Just try to find exactly what they want to ban. It's going to be Shiva, and Formula actually bans the frag grenades here, so that's interesting because, like I was saying, their go-to defensive plays, they toss 2 early nades down that B street. Maybe they'll try to do it the Semtexes here, but that's a big part to their defensive play.
And you don't see any, what makes it through too is overkill. We don't see anything with Thermal, the SVG. No one goes after the snipers at all.
Chino likes to snipe from DT.
Well, who do you think has the advantage there? Formal opts to pull it out. Do you
the thing
think
about
Chino
OpTic Gaming is not only does Formal like to snipe, so does Karma.
Yeah. Well, that was a big thing in Advanced Warfare, going back and forth, deciding who was going to be the sniper towards Karma. I think it was Formal to begin. Karma ended up closing out the year, really being their designated sniper. He felt a little more comfortable doing it. I mean, they might bust out too. We saw on Fringe, what was it, with Overkill in the other day, in the 25K final, FaZe had 3 snipers, just going SVG, VMP, because you don't really need many attachments on either of those guns. You can get away with it.
Formal picks up Glitch. That's very interesting because Formal's a player who loves Psychosis in Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
He uses it very consistently. Maybe this is a game where OpTic Gaming, they're going to try to do some different things.
Could be.
Like we were saying, they've secured their spot in the Stage 1 playoffs. So, they could try this because, DT, they're going to be trying their hearts out. So you could actually, try some different strategies here and see if, different things will work.
Well, that, kind of what you just said is the kind of the best weapon you have if you're DT right now, right? Maybe OpTic will try some new things. Maybe they'll be a little less focused because they've already, sealed their position in the Stage 1 finals. But it didn't look that way in Game 1. Maybe early, but they came back with a vengeance and really closed out that first game. If DT loses this game too, this series is basically over for me. They have to take this. They have to, because I just don't see them taking both the respawns back to back.
We want DT to find a way to force that game 4, right? That's where we're both thinking DT's best chance at really stealing the series away would be with that CTF, maybe a bit of a swing game as well, forcing that Game 5. But if there's one thing we know is Game 5s haven't been too kind on this Dream Team.
And this is not the team you want to try to get a victory in a Game 5 against.
I mean, it will be hunted, so I guess that's something that might be working a little bit in their favor because, obviously that's one that's, maybe a lesser practice than some of the other maps.
Yeah, well, you got Redwood, hunted, maps that aren't, you don't have any other game modes really that you're going to play on those, and, teams at this level don't really scrim S&Ds at all, infrequently if they do. And a lot of these guys probably saving some tactics for Stage 1. April 1st through 3rd, you have the $250,000.
Well, DT need to find a way to make it within the top 8. So I think if I'm DT, I pull out all the stops here. Because you need to qualify before you kind of show your strategies.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you just want to get in. You don't have that cushion where you can worry about saving things. You need to pull out all the stops now to try and get in. Waiting on players to load in here. We'll be ready shortly to kick off S&D Infection. DT's top 8 hopes really just dwindling here. They need a series win. I know this is. I think it was like H2K, DT, and TK. A couple teams had to play like all 3 or 4 top teams to try and get through. I think H2K and DT both in that position where they need to play OpTic.
That's why it's
Rise,
so important
phase.
to have a hot start to the league.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about coming down to situations where we have to win this, otherwise we won't be in the top 8.
Yeah, and you just don't feel like you're controlling your own destiny, but they still are. If they win out, they definitely are going to be making it in. I do know Formal's going to have the SVG on one side of things.
Chino started with Overkill, but then he switched his class up.
Okay. All right, well now.
So he does have a sniper class made.
Kind of a delayed B push right now. You can see a pretty standard defense from OpTic right now. You have one player watching A. I think that's Formal kind of watching middle there with the SVG.
Yeah, more of a heavy mid presence from OpTic Gaming. That's what you see from them on this map.
And just this delayed push. Now, who's going to be all the way at that back rock? That's Crim6 playing in the far back, so he is in a good position to apply some pressure to B. But now
stun check.
Should have the battle going on. Scump's going to be the player in that's got to try and play a little bit of defense. Somehow he's gotten a kill and stayed alive. He re-peaks, but will end up dropping Cinder, able to effectively trade that kill. And Cinder takes out Formal there with the sniper as well. They've got a 3 versus 2 advantage. Killa's got the sight. Killa's got the plant. His teammates just need to cover him here, and Cinder in great position to do so.
Yeah, this is exactly how you want to set up when you're going for the plant over on that B site. You have one guy on the cliff. He can swivel back and forth between the 2 lanes until that bomb goes down. But Cinder, he's going to peek in. Great line of sight once again. Even though Killa falls, you still have the positional advantage to DT here.
Well, 30 seconds on the clock. They're trying to hold this off.
Okay, Chino, you got to watch the streets. There we go.
It's going to come down to this fight between him and Krim. Krim's going to end up taking a 2-1 advantage. Now Cinder's by himself, and he's going to drop as well.
DT gave that round up.
Plenty of time for OpTic. And you had what? Bomb down, a 3-on-2 advantage, was it, once they got down?
Players were watching the B site. The player from top cliff was looking over near the bomb, even though you had a teammate on the railings right here with a clear line of sight onto the bomb.
Well, I guess enough time had gone by that he has to be worried about him coming from either side, I suppose, when pushing towards outskirts. But B's the one position he doesn't need to be worried about.
Yeah.
That's a one spot he has covered of the 3 angles he has to deal with. And Krem, props to him, guns it, wins the gunfight first round. Goes to OpTic Gaming.
All right, so now it's going to be OpTic Gaming on their offensive round. You see 2 trophies, so maybe gearing up for a B push, just judging off their classes. And they're using double overkill here on Formal and Karma.
Oh, just going to miss that one, but he might be able to catch him as he pushes steps.
Karma,
both them missing. One of you guys please hit a snipe. He just puts it away and says, fine, I'll try and get you with the M8. Not going to be able to connect there, but now it's going to be Scump pushing into the B side. He's not going to win it. Chino, Diabolic, picking up kills. Finally, Formal able to connect on one. Can't even get a second. The snap not going to be on target, and that is a quick round in favor of DT.
OpTic are feeling pretty confident with their snipers, man.
Well,
and they're missing their shots.
Feeling confident is very different from confidence working.
Yeah, for sure. But
I think they'll start to heat up though as this one goes on.
I mean, look, if they hit those early snipes within 10 seconds, they're
won the
up
round.
4-2.
Oh yeah, they won the round.
But DT, good response from them. They're able to hold on the defensive side of things. Let's see if Chino decides to bring out his sniper rifle here. Sticking with the M8 by the looks of it. It's actually going to be Diabolic with the sniper. So he's not really a player we see snipe too often. Let's see what he's made of here.
All right, well, he is going to be watching mid, and that's one you got to hit. He's just floating for you there. Not connecting is Diabolic. We see some sloppy sniping coming out of either side right now. Round 3 playing out pretty slowly here. Now, I'll check on my side, take a look through the defense, see what we've got. So, Formal's still going to be sniping. He's going to be watching kind of outskirts here. The player that's pushed up mid-map applying some pressure with the M8 is going to be Crim6.
Okay.
He's made enough of a show here to kind of back them up, scare them away from mid-map, but now you see the aggression coming in from DT. They're pushing out or going to try to get control here of the B site. That's Formal, though, connecting with a snipe. Scump's going to be the man pretty much consistently defending that B bomb site, one of the best in the business when it comes to that.
Yeah, just playing this tight corner. He's going to spot a couple of DT players, and he's like, guys, help. Help, I need some help. I'm trying to stay alive. Everyone's like, Seth, stay alive, just
brilliant.
play your life. But
he stayed alive so long that help has started to come. They're trying to converge, but everyone's going to drop the help. not going to matter. It's Karma now in a 1v3. He connects with one, but Chino going to close it out, and that is back-to-back rounds for Dream Team.
Yeah, good stuff from them. Just slow, methodical pushes is what we're seeing from Dream Team so far. Just really playing together, working the trades in their favor. And when you're able to open up with the kill like that onto the B site, you can comfortably get the bomb down. You have control of the B street. You know, one thing working against OpTic is because they put such a heavy focus on locking down the middle of the map, locking down over near A, they have one guy playing back B street. As you lose that on that presence, you know, from B street, you're just waiting or watching them cross to your side of the map. You can't really contest them as they cross into the B site.
All right, well, we've got some sniper warfare coming in from either side, but it's Formal getting really aggressive with the M8 across mid. He's going to be pushing A.
Nobody had A from DT?
Yep, they've already got control of the site. Bomb should be going down. Let's watch Krim now. He's going to challenge, able to connect. There's the first blood coming in for OpTic Gaming. Scump and Karma. Look, oh, they're pushed so far forward. Just terrified as DT to trying to push in a barn right now. Karma teasing them.
Where are the concussions from DT?
I don't know. They got the protect in. I don't think we've really seen them make an impact as of now. 3-on-3.
Coming around the flank is Krim 6. Looks like DT are aware of it.
Well, they traded out. 2-on-2 now. Watching
good discipline from Formal, by the way, not to shoot early.
Yep, and now he should. Wow, he just got destroyed.
It's rare you see Formal not kill somebody with
Formal
one burst.
misses the second burst. Scump shots off his wall as well. And the Bald Eagle killer coming up clutch.
He gets 3 in that round.
Excellent stuff from him, and that's a gunfight you've got to win. Now, let me look at Formal's. Was this the game? No, never mind. I was going to say, I wonder if that has to do with Stock, but Stock was game 1. So nothing there that should have been affecting him too much. He's got to hit that shot. I mean, he lines up the first burst and completely whiffs the second. And Diabolic just turns and smokes him.
Like I said, Formal, he's so accurate with that M8 that you rarely see him have to put more than one burst into a player.
Yeah. That was certainly rare there. That's a kill he should have gotten. And now DT's won 3 in a row.
Overdrive.
Looking here to take game 2. Yep, Killa's going to pop it. So he's going to get out quickly here. Let's see if he can get into an aggressive position. Looks like he wants to soar towards B. And, oh, God, he's going to have to deal with 3 players right away. He's in trouble. He should be dead almost immediately.
And because, you know, you use that, not tough for your teammate to get into a position to trade that kill, and now they're frantically trying to push up.
And that's exactly what it is. It ends up being almost a bait. They're like, oh, there's a player weak, we have to fly out. And it doesn't end up being traded effectively whatsoever. Chino's by himself. That's exactly what I described earlier when I was talking about Overdrive. It's like it either works and you get that opening kill and it's beautiful, or that happens where you push, they try to come up behind it, and all 4 are dead in seconds.
Yeah, you know, you run into 3 opposing players, it's going to be tough to even find 1 kill there. Unfortunate timing from Killa, but, you know, it's rough because, like we were saying, your teammates can't run as fast as you. So they can't put themselves in a position to work those trades effectively. It
literally becomes almost a bait sometimes using Overdrive. And there you saw it in full effect, but OpTic Gaming.
EMP, concussion. So they have 2 concussions to use.
Okay, so now so the B side is completely open right now.
Yeah, Krim 6 used his Overdrive, so he's going to have early position here.
He's set up pretty well. Formal pushed outside and won a big one somehow on Killa. Killa's got to be frustrated there. Had the superior positioning, but nice shots coming in from Formal. Formal might be able to tag up a second as well. So now it's going to be 2-on-2 as that gets traded out.
Scump coming around the flank. You can find both kills right here if he peeks out. Yes, spots one on the B stairs, sees the sniper. As he picks up the kill, he's like, you know what? I have no reason to challenge. Karma's going to be there to clean up the kill. You know, good decision from Sender just to commit to 1 player. But OpTic Gaming, they win their gunfights as they tie it up 3-3.
Excellent job here from OpTic as they've taken 2 in a row, giving themselves now a chance in this game too. And again, this is for me, a must-win for DT. You have got to take this S&D on Infection. Right now, getting a little bit scary as you started off hot. You're going to be back to offense. Sender having a big game at 7-5. Let me check just for specialist abilities.
Well, nothing on the side of DT.
You just have a glitch for Formal.
Okay.
I think I saw a couple HCs. You saw an HC for Scump and an HC for Killa.
Oh, and players starting to drop for DT. Coming around the corner, Diabolic. He's able to respond with 2. Killa will find the 3rd here, so it's down to a 1v1.
And this is where Glitch.
Formal.
This is where Glitch is perfect, though. You're in a 1v1 and Formal has the Glitch. This is going to be very, very tough for Killa because even if he gets first shot, it may not end up working out. And you're going to have an M8 going up against a sub. And
no tack mask on Formal, though, and Killa has a stun and a grenade to use.
Oh, my.
Stun him, perfect.
Able to tag him up with 1. The stun looks good, but doesn't matter as Formal gets the burst through it. Woo!
That's it. This is the exact play Killa has in mind. He gets Formal kind of out of position, stuns him up.
Shouldn't have jumped. Wait for it to go off.
Because of the thruster, yeah.
Wait for it to go off. Like, he just shouldn't have jumped there. Wait for that hit marker to come through. He challenges basically before it pops. You know, it just does not have the desired effect because he gets a pretty clear shot there. Formal does.
All right, so DT, they will have an HCXD to work with going into this next round. As a Formal, looks like he did use his glitch.
I didn't even know.
Did you say he had it available in that last round?
Yeah, 100% had it. I don't know. Maybe he used it before we got to him there in the 1v1 because he had it when I checked him to start the round.
All right, just making sure none of us are going crazy. But 2 down early on for DT. Scumpy will spot the third as he flies around the corner. He's going to get some help from Karma as they clean up that kill. And another straightforward round. It's all down to Killa in a 1v4. Can't make it down to a 1-on-3 as Formal cleans him up. And OpTic Gaming, they're looking to close out this match.
Well, that's your worst nightmare as a player is trying to challenge Formal with a sub at range when he is in MMA. You're just not going to win this gunfight. Even he got first shot, but that's just such a difficult engagement there. Nice shots from Formal coming in as OpTic Gaming looking to close this one out. 1 round away from taking a 2-0 lead in the series.
Even if Killa finds that kill on the Formal, he's still got 3 other players to take care of.
Not
there we go.
Not
Here's some concussions. They got 3 of them. Got to use the HCXT. Now, he did use it very early in the round, so this will give OpTic Gaming time to change to a flak jacket class.
And let me see how many HCs you have on the other side. You have one for Formal as well. Krim ends up getting traded out. It's going to be a 3v3 here. Let's watch Killa yet again. That's, I think, Formal's HC now being taken out, but he's going to get beat up by Karma. Chino with the dirty snipe, but now he's in a 1v2.
That'll give him camo to use, though.
He has a camo. Can he make it a 1v1? The pressure comes in. Oh, this could be brilliant. This could be brilliant. Oh, God, he heard a player. He hears him boosting. No blast of pressure there. He's going to find one. Tries to find the second, but Scump too fast. Chino 2 tagged up, and that is a 6-3 Game 2 victory for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, great stuff from Scumpy here. Pre-aims exactly where Chino is coming from, catches him out of position. That was almost like the best time to camo from Chino there, as both players for a brief period of time were right next to those windows.
In a perfect world, he gets a kill, turns into a 1v1, and then can use his camo. That would have made it a little bit easier, but he heard the noise as they were pushing him inside of Grandma's, not able to clutch up the 1v2, and OpTic taking the victory. An uplink on evac. I mean, this is... I know if you're DT, you like Uplink, you're good at the game mode, but this is a scary one to go up against OpTic, especially being down 2-0. I just don't know how DT can rip off 3 straight.
I could agree with you there. Now, one thing that really separated OpTic Gaming from DT in that search and destroy was the amount of first bloods OpTic Gaming got.
Oh, sure.
I mean, so many times, that first blood would go unanswered. No trades coming in from DT. I could think of 2 rounds in particular where OpTic Gaming, they opened it up, where there was like 3 kills that go unanswered from DT. Whenever you do stuff like that, it puts you in a rough situation to win that entire S&D map.
And you saw a couple times where it was, a little, not luck, but a little bit of luck on the play calls coming in from OpTic.
Fortunate timing.
Twice they got really aggressive on A, nobody was home. They got really aggressive on B, nobody was home. And we saw them get plants in a 4v4 2 different times, I think, which can be, when you're a team like OpTic, when you get that bomb down with 4 up, you're going to lock it down. But you can take a look at the stats here. Formal dropping double digits. Anything else stand out for you?
Nothing really in particular. I mean, Killa only goes -2, but so did two of his teammates. Nobody going positive on the side of DT. Krim pitches in with 8 kills of his own, but for the most part, it was really just Formal. Standout player for the most part.
Yeah, you saw him win a couple big gunfights when they were coming down to the wire. That was a snipe connecting after, I think, a couple missed shots.
Around 6 or 7 missed sniper shots in that first round.
But we'll see some highlights here from Game 2. As DT, again,
they started off strong. They go up 3-1.
They started strong, but still...
It was OpTic Gaming. They won 5 straight rounds.
OpTic going to be so tough to beat if you can't take the Game 1 hardpoint. That's the benefit you had the first time you played them. Not going to be the benefit you have the second go-around. And now they're just looking to get the sweep here. Do you give... I never want to say a team's out of it. You have some veterans, you have some young talent on the side of DT, but...
Sure.
How do you possibly, as good as OpTic Gaming is with a 2-0 advantage, how do you possibly come back in this?
How can you expect to reverse sweep OpTic Gaming? It's such a tall task, and going into a respawn game mode, well, 2 back-to-back, you need to find a way to match the slang from OpTic Gaming, as well as get it done in the objective department. And like we were saying in the hardpoint, you can't let OpTic Gaming hang around. So for me, if DT don't go into the half, with some sort of lead whatsoever, I just can't see them taking the uplink. It's just so tough for
It
them.
is, yeah. But, we heard from some of you guys on Twitter regarding our question for this match. It's Nitsua coming in. We have a lot of love for Killa in this. Krim is going to go hunting for the bald eagle. I actually am pretty sure in North America that's illegal.
Yeah.
In Call of Duty, not so much. But bald eagles are a national treasure and national bird or animal or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. Look at an atlas. But I don't think you can hunt bald eagles.
What is an atlas going to tell you about bald
Does
eagles?
an atlas tell you, like, if you look at the countries, what their, like, national flower is and animal? Am I thinking of the wrong thing here? Encyclopedia? I don't know, man. You can't hunt bald eagles. That's all I know. They're rare. They live on cliffs. They have giant eggs. And they have the wingspan of Jack.
What?
I have no idea. All right, let's get to the ban and protect here for evac uplink. Standard thus far.
So far, aside from kinetic armor getting banned, even though OpTic Gaming, I don't think they're too worried about that. Overclock, they're perfectly fine with that going as well. I like how OpTic Gaming kind of timed these two bans, one right after another. They really don't want those tacticals to be in the game. Now it's time for high caliber. Probably expect rapid fire to follow it up. And so far, I think these ban and protects are favoring OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, the more standard it is, the better it looks for OpTic for sure. And there's nothing remotely that stands out to me right now. And look at it's that the fact that you allow the back-to-back tactical ban. Scump, formal, bang bang, they're off. I guess why are you more scared of kinetic than getting a protect on one of those?
I guess the one drawback is the other team can use the tacticals as well, but there's one thing that all top teams have in common is that they like to ban out the concussion and the flashback.
Yeah, they don't want to play with them.
Yeah.
They don't. They want to play fast. They view it as kind of an annoyance. It slows down the gameplay. It makes the gunfights more
ban
difficult.
again.
All right, Killa's trolling at this point.
These are back-to-back ban and protects where Killa misses his pick.
And I'm trying to think if that really affects anything. I mean, I guess the Shiva is kind of the one that gets through, but the Shiva's not going to make that big of an impact on a map like evac.
Yeah. I'd honestly ban out something like the RK5.
Yeah, that could, because if you have your strong AR players like Formal, that secondary can be so big. But whether he has an Elcar, RK5, or MR6, I think he's gonna make an impact with either. You see the picks coming in. Scythe for Chino, Scythe for Formal, standard there. We'll see if we have any differences. What do you think about Crim6 using Vision Pulse on uplink?
I like Vision Pulse. Like I was saying in the previous years, I think you always get good, consistent use out of something like Vision Pulse. I think it's a bit more amplified when Overclock makes it do it because you can earn so many Vision Pulses. But it's going to be active camo on both sides. The Annihilator is going to be the difference here. Annihilator versus Vision Pulse on the side of DT and OpTic.
All right, well, editing their classes now, their score streaks before we get ready to hop into uplink. This is one of my favorite game modes, definitely one of my favorite respawns.
This is the first game where I'm getting a first-hand look at uplink, and I'm really enjoying it.
Well, for those of you at home, again, Live Event Viewer has come out recently.
I want to see pictures of you using the Live Event Viewer.
We have a lot. Yes, we do. Tweet at us. But one thing I want to take a look at with the help of Activision, we made Uplink 101, kind of a tutorial video for those of you that might be new to Uplink. Let's take a look.
Uplink is a favorite mode within the esports community because of its fast-paced, aggressive nature. This mode features two teams clashing in an attempt to score a satellite drone into an enemy's floating uplink station. The drone will be spawned in a neutral point between players' locations. Players must then get to the spawn location to fight over control of the drone. Every drone thrown through the uplink station scores 1 point. However, 2 points are awarded if the drone is carried through the goal. Uplink forces players to push into enemy territories and to hold their position. The player with the drone loses their equipped weapon, but gains an additional protective armor, assisting them while their guard is down. After 2 rounds, alternating between map sides, the team with the most points wins the match. Uplink brings on a whole new aggressive gameplay that requires players to solidify their teamwork and conquer map control.
All right, awesome stuff there.
I didn't know you knew how to play Uplink.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm a wealth of knowledge. Here. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love Call of Duty. I cast it. I watch it. But I can't hang with you, man. You are the knowledge guy. You're a former professional player. I do the play-by-play.
You don't need to gas me up, man.
I bring a crappy joke from time to time, and, you're here to tell everyone how to play the game. And, it's a lot of fun to cast with you, though. I'm really enjoying myself thus far as we are in day 1 of Week 9. And there'll be more of those videos to come. And again, this isn't trying to dumb down things for those of you that have been watching competitive Call of Duty for years and
new
years.
guys up to speed.
Exactly. There are a lot of new viewers coming in via live event viewer, or maybe some Black Ops 2 fans that just started watching again with Black Ops 3. Maybe you just play the Treyarch titles. Uplink.
I'm sure there are a lot of guys just on Twitch TV. You see there are a lot of viewers in Black Ops 3. You're like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah. So
Call of Duty World League, what's this?
Welcome. I want to be as creepy as I could there. I think I did a good job.
You always do a great job of being creepy.
We just lost 65 viewers as their parents made them turn off the TV. But all right, here we go. Let's hop into Uplink evac, kicking things off with King Scumpy.
Let's take a look at what he has in store for us going into this Uplink match. OpTic Gaming, they're going to start out on the favorable side. So, like I was saying, DT, they really want a good start to this, and you couldn't get any better of a start as all four go down for OpTic Gaming. Diabolic so far pushed up in the lane. This is looking like a dunk for DT, assuming they can get these kills in their favor.
This is beautiful. He gets pushed back with the Simtex, but not before the damage is done. A dunk gets through, and that 2 points is huge, Revan, because you're starting from the weaker side. That break at the beginning could be all the difference in this game.
Finally, Killer gets shut down, but DT, they've had time to spot it, but rotate. Now, one thing that kind of worked against them were the spawns there for OpTic Gaming. They got a 2-2 split spawn, spawning over near cages as well as over near kitchen. So OpTic rotating back and fighting for position over to the neutral zone. Yeah, a bit easier when you get that split spawn.
And it can be pretty difficult to predict when you get 4 down like that, and the pressure comes so quickly, how the spawns are going to break down. But the fortunate thing is you do at least get the dunk through.
Yeah, those points are huge.
Yeah, they really, really are. I mean, think about what we saw on Strong side. The first side ended like 1-3 last game.
Yeah.
And I think OpTic are going to put up a lot of big points, but I don't know what they'll be able to do from this side. You need to lock it down if you're DT.
Nice. Killer's having a huge game so far, 7-2, but you know, whenever you're going up against a team like OpTic Gaming, you cannot take your foot off the gas pedal. You need to keep up the aggression, you need to keep making the kills, and it's so tough to consistently do that against such a strong team.
All right, well, now you're going to have drone in hand for Scump. Looks like they're going to want to wrap it top side here as they're going to be pushing through kitchen, trying to get set up. He's got Karma out front, his lead blocker. It's a, remember he had on his gun. What was it, like blocker for Scump? Or he had
Scump guard?
Scump guard, that's what it was. And the melee comes in. No, don't get a second. Don't get a second. Did he get it off? He didn't get the toss there. A little bit delayed. Is Scumpy not able to put it through, so the lead will remain 2-0. And this is a really good opportunity here to maybe get points on the board. You see the lead man's going to be Killer. He wins yet another gunfight. Diabolic, your drone carrier.
That's a huge
He's wrapping wall, and there is Dunk 4-0 lead from weak side here for Dream Team. They're coming alive here in the Uplink.
Bit of a late heat wave from Diabolic, but it doesn't matter because they were able to get the dunk at the end of the day. That's all that matters, is that you put points up on the board. Killer being a bit ambitious, just pushing so far forward ahead of his teammates, but he's being the perfect bait right now as Sender moves in. He finds a couple kills. Early camo from Killer, just going for the 1-point toss. And
beautiful.
He sinks it. Everything going well for DT. And this is a map where we kind of counted them out, but even though they're not on the stronger side,
you have to take advantage, though, and they're doing a really good job. You know, you got the early break with 4 down, and they haven't let their foot off the gas. OpTic Gaming has not been able to get a hold on this game whatsoever, really. They had one attempted push. You didn't get the toss off. Outside of that, it has been all DT, but now Karma trying to get a break. You can see this power position. Chino has to stay alive here. If you allow OpTic Gaming to get control of this spot, you are going to get flushed down the toilet in a hurry. He's managed to hold off for now. His teammate's coming off spawn, but now the pressure coming through.
I think Diabolic intercepted that toss. Sender now trying to stay alive. That's a huge kill to make on Crim6 because that's going to allow OpTic Gaming to waste a bit more time. Yeah, should be good. The heat wave comes in just to solidify it. So OpTic Gaming, they do put points on the board, and they're still putting pressure onto the DT spawns.
Yeah, this is scary right now, but look where the spawn is coming, all the way at the top of the map. So they decide to split. One overextended. Sender should have come back. Yeah, he should have came back to the base instead of, I think, trying to overextend. But he actually might get to a good spot by drone. I thought maybe he would try to get back there and lock it off.
Toss it forward.
Well, this could work out if they get it to him and he can maybe get off a 1-point toss, but he's actually in a position now where he might be able to disrupt. I thought he was going to wrap the whole way around and flank drone spawn. There's the 1-point toss over the top. DT going to add 1 in, 6-3, still looking good for DT, but if you're an OpTic Gaming fan, a much-needed 3 points getting on the board here from the strong side.
It's always scary when you choose to overextend like that and your teammates are still fighting for control of your own base.
It only worked because they won the gunfights. Yeah, if they didn't win those gunfights,
they're screwed.
Sender, kind of screws the team there, but it ends up working out, ends up leading to a 1-pointer.
Now Sender just trying to hold glass control. Important lane to maintain if you're on the side of DT, but as 2 players fall, they're going to choose Rapid, but it actually banks off. It looks like, okay, you will be able to regain control. I think he just wall runs here, because even if he dies, the drone will fall off the map and it'll get reset. Diabolic, good movement here. He's running out of thruster. As he dies, the drone will get reset. As players start to drop for DT, Chino has to go big here.
Yep, and this is the scary position. Krim, if he would have been able to get this kill and get set up there, this would have been just, I think, a rally here to close things out. But as of now, they've only got 1 point through, but there's potential for more. Chino's picked up 2 big kills. Killing Formal and Chino here, not able to pick up the 3rd, though. Can they get any more points on the board? Scump still
DT
trying
might
to
be
disrupt.
able to.
DT's got it forward, though. Killa trying to make a play. I think he makes the wise decision here for a second to just kind of play it slow, but unfortunately for him, Scump's in behind. Time's going to trickle away. Should be a 2-point lead here for Dream Team.
So if you're OpTic Gaming, obviously you're disappointed you're not going into the half with a lead while being started out on the stronger side, but considering on how that game started off, I think they're okay with the position they're in right now.
For OpTic?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, you'd like to have a lead from that side.
For sure.
But like you said, it started so ugly that they kind of stopped the bleeding. They got a little bit of control. They brought it within 2. Now, this opening break is so important. You can see how much of a snowball a game like Uplink can have.
Annihilator.
Who are you checking?
Vision Pulse.
Are you checking through both?
Vision Pulse is the only thing available for OpTic here. So, yeah, this could be a really good start-off for DT if Chino could maybe take out a Scythe and put it to good use. But you got the lead. I think they might just be saving it for a defensive play.
Well, I think Krim
very early on. Wow.
Krim popped the Vision Pulse. He popped the Vision Pulse, was able to give so much information.
All right.
And now they're flying through. This is not the opening you wanted.
Up.
That's what can you say? You have to win the opening break if you're DT. The game's already tied. This is a scary spot, I think.
And now Krim can do some serious damage to DT if he's able to stay alive and continue slaying. He's just will pick up the neutral drone because you got 2 teammates pushed out near middle map. He's going to pass it over to Scump as he's got camo to use. That's exactly why he got the pass. And this is going to be OpTic Gaming taking the lead within a minute.
45 seconds in, and they've got 2 dunks. This is DT's worst nightmare. Yeah. OpTic in control. Scump is in the base, and he's going to catch one coming wall run. They have a car to go as well. Karma's got players to lead block here. This should be yet another dunk as
Karma
he's going to fly through.
Karma is the best player at resetting his armor with the drone.
And well, also look at DT. They had no idea what to do. They decided to kind of split. 2 overextended. So they've got drone spawn. That's the good thing. The bad thing is you have 0 control of your base right now as Scump is still picking up kills. Finally, they're going to pick him off. Now, Killa here's got to get a point.
He's using a Scythe
get a
right
1-pointer maybe.
Formal has a Scythe out, so he's going to go ahead and pop camo. But this might only result in a 1-point play, and yeah, I mean, at least it's a point on the board. It will stop the bleeding. It will allow DT to stabilize. Sender's going to go ahead and use the Annihilator here on the flank.
He doesn't realize
he can do some huge damage. He's going to spot a couple of players, but you're just more focused on going over near top AC. As Streak's starting to get called in.
He picks
only
up
gets one.
Yep, not a big impact there as Scump and Krim pick up a couple
Krim's
kills as well.
on a 9 spree. He's got a Hellstorm, so he's the guy with streaks. And yeah, I think pinging that line streak, they're like, oh, well, one's on the flank. Looks like he will protect the drone carrier. Actually takes out Formal with that, so not protecting him a little bit there. But he's still gonna have a huge spree. Big impact on this game.
That's basically from the break, too. I mean, he just went off hot right from the get-go. Karma winning gunfights, using that heat wave, has a second at the corner. Just trying to find this player. Not able to get it yet. Now, they can't, or they decide not to get it off the map here, and that might end up punishing them. That's going to punish them. This is going to turn to points. That might actually end up turning into a dunk. That's one of those times where you think, hey, let's get aggressive. Let's try to counter instead of getting it off the map, and that is worst case scenario right there. You drop it kind of at that 60-yard line. It's on the aggressive position for OpTic Gaming, and you've got Scump still wreaking havoc.
Perfect positioning from Scump. His teammates are on the other side of the map. He knows that DT are going to be spawning over near cages because they're blocking the spawn at kitchen. So Scump just puts himself in a spot to pick up some crucial kills, slowing down the push from DT. OpTic Gaming now, the team with a 5-point lead. But Killa trying to keep his team in it. He's the lead slayer right now for DT at 21-21. Diabolic having a rough game, and he's the player we were highlighting coming into the series. Every time we see Diabolic make big plays happen, you see DT winning, but he's struggling right now.
Well, he's the man that needs to get it done with the drone. In past games, you've seen him be really big as a flag runner. As a scorer here with the drone, he can't get it off, not able to go over the top. Chino not there to pick off this player immediately, but it is going to potentially lead to 2. There it is, trailing by 3. Minute 40 on the clock. You can still do it if you're Dream Team. OpTic Gaming trying to hold on here for the final 90 seconds and close this out to 3-0.
I thought he saw the shadow of the player above him. But listen, if DT get their ideal setup going, yes, they are still in this game, and they could find the way back, but everything has to go their way. Killer's actually going to maybe help out OpTic Gaming, tossing the drone a bit closer to his base.
That absolutely does. You could have thrown it off to the left there, maybe got it off the map. Instead, you put it in a scary position. Thankfully, his team wins a gunfight there with Center and able to close that out. So this might actually be a pretty good position now for DT to counter.
Wait, Krim is here. Unable to finish the kill just yet, and he won't be able to do so, but no armor remaining on Diabolic. As he goes along that middle wall run, he gets cut down just short of being able to get that 1-point toss off. But it's going to be good spawns coming in from DT.
Scump just made a filthy play in this base, too. He picks up a 2-piece.
There's still time for them to make this happen.
Oh, there absolutely
They need to win all these gunfights, though.
And as you said, that they lost them all. OpTic Gaming going big. They've got control now of drone. There's only 35 seconds on the clock. They're looking to close it out. Still a 2-point possession.
This could be a huge camo play.
You need a 1-pointer. You need something. There's the camo, but it's too late. He's tagged up. If he got that 1 second earlier,
I thought he was going for the beatdown.
Oh, maybe he had a chance.
That's it.
This has to be it. They need to score twice. Another point on the board
I'm
makes you need
OpTic
2
Gaming
dunks.
Just don't run this back to their base and just turtle up there.
Well, if you get a 1-point toss here, it definitely closes it out. Because you're not going to be getting 2 dunks. Oh, he's still alive. He just wants to flush it home. He's teasing them now. There's no time. DT.
His teammates coming for the bait.
3-0'd with the quickness. OpTic Gaming asserting their dominance here in the second matchup versus DT. There will be no magic. The dream is dead. They couldn't get the 2-0 overall series score here against OpTic Gaming, but it's still a pretty awesome result to get that 1-1 with OpTic throughout the course of stage 1. But what stinks if you're DT, what is so I guess makes it even more painful is the fact that CLG won the first game. That hurts.
This was close to a must-win match for DT to try to make it out of relegation, but man, OpTic Gaming, it seems like every other map, it's a different player that goes big and just completely takes over the series. Here in this one, it was Crim6. He got some help from Karma as well. They just had phenomenal games. I mean, especially kind of, going into the second half without a lead. We thought that was going to hurt OpTic Gaming, but they got it done on the bit of the weaker side.
They did. Well, fun stuff is always revving. Now let's take a look at our final matches here. I think H2K TSM still going on.
Yeah.
So if you're a dream team, you have to pray H2K gets a win. You want TSM to keep the dip. Well, that one, I mean, both of those winners kind of hurt, but I think TSM winning would be a little more painful.
I think for sure they want Team Caliber to lose here against FaZe.
Well, no, they want... Well, yes. Yeah. They need TK to lose, and then I don't think Elevate Envy really matters. The other side of that, Luminosity versus Rise, you need Luminosity to lose as well. So the good thing you have right now if you're DT is the fact that you have basically Rise, Nation LG, and Team Caliber FaZe. FaZe and Rise heavy favorites in that. So that's I guess the one positive.
Okay.
What hurts is that CLG victory, which if you came in, when you and I looked at the schedule tonight, we were like, oh, these are just brutal matchups for the teams on the bubble.
Yeah, quite frankly, they seem like some one-sided matchups. I mean, for sure, OpTic Gaming fared against the DT. You got to look at the scoreboard there as we move into some of the highlights. But just to reiterate, because I know we didn't get a chance to talk about it, Chino goes 30-24, but a rough game from Diabolic at 13-26. Killa did what he could at the beginning of the game, but he kind of slowed down towards the end. But on the side of OpTic Gaming, Krim finishes at 33-20. Scumpy goes 28-21 with 4 dunks.
Yeah, and Scump's going to he's that drone carrier, man. He needs that lead blocker. A lot of times it's going to be Karma pushing out.
He's taking on more of like an objective role, but he's still phenomenal when it comes to slaying.
Well, that's the difference between elite objective players and not elite. Being able to put up those big numbers at the same time while doing the dirty work. And, there's only a handful of players that are really good at doing that.
If you were to pick a role that you play, what's your role?
My role is bait.
You just bait
all of my teammates and pick up the kills, which, honestly, I'm excellent at.
So is Mr. X. Mr. X is the worst at that.
I actually am not. I get really crazy, actually, because I don't have very much patience. So I actually like to fly at people.
Yeah.
Matt is he is the epitome of the worst human in existence to play games with like that, because he will just bait everyone. He's terrible.
Matt goes, I will not touch the objective at all. I will look over you, and I will just use you as bait so I can find more kills.
As I pick up 0 kills. But coming up next here on the Alpha broadcast is going to be Team Caliber going up against FaZe Clan. TK desperately needs a win. We'll be right back.